Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. Well, I'm back at it again with another desk setup video with another update on my main desk, which I actually haven't covered for over a year. As what's becoming a tradition on my channel, before we get started, I want to make a few points very clear. Desk setups can be notoriously expensive, and mine is no exception. I've invested a significant amount into my office for several reasons. As someone who has the privilege of working from home full time, this space is where I handle my day job as a software engineer and also where I create content for this channel. And given that much of my content is tech related, I do see some return on investment from the products that I review. Now, I've included affiliate links for all of the products featured in this video down below, and if you choose to purchase anything through those links, thank you in advance for your support of this channel. However, please do not consider purchasing something unless it genuinely enhances your work from home experience. This video isn't meant to be an advertisement. It's simply me sharing my setup with you. If something catches your eye, great, but only buy it when and if it makes sense for you. I started my work from home journey on a kitchen table with my laptop and an old 1080p monitor, gradually building my setup over the years. Some of the products in this video were sent to me, and I'll make sure to mention which ones they are. Always take your time upgrading your desk setup and never feel pressured to buy anything you see here. My hope is that this video is enjoyable and hopefully sparks a few ideas for your own setup in the future. With that, let's dive into the video. So we ended up moving to a different place since my last desk setup video, which meant starting fresh in a new space. Now the space is a little bigger than my last office, but that didn't necessarily mean I wanted to fill it with more stuff. I decided I wanted to keep the same look and feel of my last office since I liked the Moody vibes, so I went with the same general color theme, though this time I chose slightly different shades of color that I thought paired well together. For the main accent wall, I went with Onyx by Benjamin Moore, and for the rest of the room, I went with Sea Haze, also by Benjamin Moore. I really like having one main accent color as the anchor and pairing it with a complementary color, but that's just me. The foundation of any desk setup is a combination of two things: the desk and the chair. I'm still using the Ergonomix Sway desk in the walnut finish. It measures 60 inches wide and 30 inches deep, and the walnut color adds an undeniable warmth to the room. When juxtaposed against the accent wall, it creates that moody vibe that I enjoy. Using a sit-stand desk is crucial for my work as a software engineer. It allows me to make a point to stand up in the afternoons to break the monotony of sitting all day. In my opinion, the chair is the most important part of any desk or home office setup. I'm still using the Logitech Herman Miller Embody gaming chair and have been for 2.5 years now. It's super comfortable and I really like the adaptive support that it provides. If there's one thing you should splurge money on when it comes to your setup, in my opinion, the chair would be it. I've already done 2 separate videos covering the Embody, and if you're interested in my takes on the chair, which includes comparing it to the Aeron, I'll link them both down in the description below. Sitting to the right of the desk is still the Ergonomix Neat filing cabinet, which has been paired with my setup for a long time now. It has the same walnut finish as the desk, and this is where I place things that I frequently access. It features smooth closing drawers and is where I place my PC. Now, elevating the PC like this makes cable management easier, as keeping a tower like this in the air allows the cables to not stretch beyond capacity when raising the desk. Speaking of the PC, I built it in August of 2021, and it has effectively remained the same since. It has a Ryzen 9 5950X, which is cooled by the NZXT Kraken Z73 Liquid AIO. It has 64 gigs of Trident Z Neo DDR4 RAM at 3600 MHz, an Asus TUF RTX 3090, which is slotted into the Asus ROG Dark Hero 8 motherboard. It has 9 Corsair LL120mm fans, 6 of which are powered by the Corsair Commander Pro, and 3 by the Kraken's fan splitter. It has 2 1TB M.2 drives, one Samsung 980 Pro, and one Samsung 970 Pro. Everything is powered by the Corsair HX1200 power supply, which, as suggested by its name, is a 1200 watt power supply. Everything is inside the Li & Li O11 Dynamic, which is a great case to build in. For general surge protection, I've been using the Tron Surge Protector power bar for years, ever since my original desk setup. What I really appreciate are the widely spaced outlets and USB charging ports, which I regularly use to charge batteries in the studio. The purpose of the PC is really for gaming these days, as I get most of my work done on the MacBook. Speaking of that, I picked up the MacBook Pro about a year ago, which is the 16-inch model with the M2 Max chip and the 38-core GPU. This is my daily workhorse that I use for software engineering and all of my content creation, specifically editing and exporting videos. Since the laptop has an SD card slot, I can edit and upload footage on the go without carrying an external reader, which is really helpful. Both the MacBook and the PC are connected to the Ugreen USB switch, which allows me to switch contexts and is essential to my workflow. I've been using the switch since before I started the channel, and it's worked great for me over the years. The switch has the capacity to have an extra 5 volts of juice plugged into it should you want to add more power-hungry devices. The laptop itself is sitting inside the laptop stand by Grovemade, a piece they sent over to me a while ago, and is handmade with a beautiful walnut and matches the aesthetics of the desk. The MacBook has a 1-cable connection to the CalDigit TS4, which supports Thunderbolt 4, so it makes a great sidekick to the laptop. The TS4 is an extremely important part of the setup, and I rely on it a lot with my workflow. It has 18 ports of connectivity, including several USB-C connections, DisplayPort, and an SD card slot so I can easily transfer footage over for editing. It also comes with some rubber feet attachments so it prevents some sliding on the desk. I've said this before, the TS4 is hands down the best dock on the market, and I haven't found one yet that compares to it. Sitting close by is my wireless Xbox PC controller, which is a mainstay on the desk since I use it so often for playing games like Hades, Super Meat Boy, Cult of the Lamb, Jedi Fallen Order, and Pentiment, among others. Both the controller and the TS4 are sitting under the Hexcal Studio desk shelf, which is probably the most over-the-top desk accessory I've ever used, yet it has become a mainstay on my desk. The Studio has several features like a built-in power supply, an internal chamber for storing power adapters and devices, a data bridging feature for data pass-through from the chamber to the outside, a built-in lighting system, and more. This is also probably the only desk shelf on the planet that has the ability to receive routine firmware upgrades. Let that sink in. There's a lot I had to say about the Studio, and I've done a dedicated review of it, so I'll go ahead and link that down in the description below. To the right of the desk shelf is where I usually put my Sony XM5s, which are a great set of noise-canceling headphones, and I usually throw these on when I want to focus on a task or get a workout done. If I want to use headphones for something like video editing, I opt for the HiFiMan Edition XS, a great set of open-back, planar magnetic headphones that really bring out the little details in my music. It's also a great set of headphones for gaming. Speaking of gaming, I'm still using the Razer Basilisk Ultimate, a gaming mouse I've had for years at this point. It has 11 programmable buttons and weighs around 108 grams. I love that it comes with a dock for charging, so it's always ready to go when I want to play some games. Close to the Basilisk is the Elgato Wave XLR, a pretty versatile audio interface offering up to 75 decibels of gain. It features a large dial that allows you to easily adjust mic input, headphone volume, and the monitor mix, which balances the connected mic's input with the computer's playback sound. Its ability to provide up to 75 dBs of gain makes it especially well suited for use with dynamic microphones. Speaking of dynamic microphones, I currently use the Shure SM7B, which is connected to the Wave XLR through a cloud lifter. I originally purchased the cloud lifter for a previous audio interface. However, with the Wave XLR's 75 dBs of gain, it's good to note that the cloud lifter isn't actually necessary with the Wave XLR, since the SM7B generally only requires about 60 decibels of gain. The SM7B is still held in the air by the Rode PSA-1, which I've had for years now, and is a solid and durable mic arm. Sitting close by in front of the desk shelf is the Artifox Monument, a phone charging mount cast from solid cement. The monument is inspired by brutalist architecture, which emphasizes functionality and structural elements, and is inspired by bold and rugged characteristics. I like both its design and the fact that it carries some height to it, which is great for when I want to watch something on my phone in the background. Sitting on top of the desk shelf are my Kanto U2 speakers in the walnut finish that I've had for a long time now. For their size, they produce some great mids and highs, but do lack a bit on the low end. Kanto does sell a sub 6 and sub 8 subwoofer if you're looking for a bigger lower end punch. The U2s are both sitting on top of Kanto's S2 speaker stands, which tilts the speakers upwards 16 degrees, ensuring you get all of those sweet tones directly into your eardrums. Right above the desk shelf is my current monitor, the Alienware AW3821DW, which is a 38-inch ultrawide with a max resolution of 3840 by 1600 and a max refresh rate of 144 Hz. That, combined with a nano IPS display and a 95% DCI-P3 color gamut, makes this a great monitor for both productivity and gaming. As of the making of this video, the monitor is nearly 4 years old, but I still think it's fantastic. There's a lot I had to say about this monitor, and if you're interested in learning more about it, I'll of course link my review of it down in the description below. Sitting on top of the monitor is the original BenQ screen bar, a light bar I've had for years. Having a light bar is one of the best purchases I've made for my setup, and it's been invaluable at reducing eye strain during my long working hours. Versus a traditional desk lamp, it offers more even and diffuse lighting without causing glare on the screen, effectively creating a more comfortable workspace. You can change the color temperature as well as the brightness, though I typically just use the auto dimming feature, which is always perfect for me. I can't stress enough the importance of having a light bar, since it dramatically reduces eye strain and creates a more balanced lighting environment during long hours at the desk. Sitting on top of the screen bar is the Logitech Brio webcam, which provides 4K video for some fairly good image quality. It has autofocus, HDR support, and Bright Light 3 technology, which automatically adjusts the lighting settings to help you look well lit in various lighting conditions. Moving back down to the desk level sits the Lunar One, a keyboard that was previously sent over to me by a company called KeysMe. The keyboard was inspired by NASA's Apollo missions, if you couldn't already tell. It has Gatoron Mars switches, which are linear switches that have an average operating force of 45 grams and a total travel distance of 3.6 millimeters. I use NeoVim with Tmux to write code for my day job, so the keyboard is an extremely important tool to me, and it's been great for productive tasks. It also has a 2.4 GHz wireless dongle, so it's great for gaming. I've been using the MX Master 3S for years now, and it's truly been a fantastic productivity mouse. It feels great in hand, and I especially love using the horizontal scroll button for editing. The ergonomic design, 8K DPI sensor, mag speed scrolling, and customizable buttons all add to the appeal. Plus, since it's the S version, it has quiet clicks, which is a nice touch. Now, both the mouse and the keyboard are sitting on top of the special edition Star Wars Obi-Wan desk mat by Orbit Key, which comes in brown and cream colors. It has the Jedi Order symbol on the bottom right, Obi-Wan's blue lightsaber color on top for flavor, with the same colored badge on the bottom right. In true Orbit Key fashion, it has a magnetic cable clip on the top right and a place to hide away papers. All in all, it's an elegant desk mat for a more civilized age. Lighting, in my opinion, can drastically alter the mood of your office and can make or break the look and feel of your setup. Now, I've already gone way too far down the Philips Hue rabbit hole at this point, so it's mostly Philips Hue in here, but lighting doesn't have to be expensive. They're lights. They just have to serve some kind of purpose and make sense. Sitting in the corner of the office is my old faithful Hectar lamp from IKEA with the 3 Philips Hue E12 bulbs. I love the Hectar's industrial and somewhat vintage look, and I like how I can configure the direction for each of the lights. Behind the monitor are 2 Philips Hue play bars to give some extra bias lighting behind the monitor to reduce eye strain. Wrapping around the edges of the desk is the Philips Hue light strip, which gives a nice, cozy ambience to the desk. Beside the desk is the Govee Lyra floor lamp, which has customizable lighting with a wide range of colors and effects. It has a slim, modern design, was easy to put together, and fits perfectly in the small area next to the desk. It has both a remote and a sister app to adjust the lighting. While we're not covering the other desk setup in this video fully, it does have its own lighting that brings together the overall finish to the office. On top of the monitor is the BenQ screen bar halo, which also emits a soft bias light behind the monitor. Speaking of behind the monitor, there are 2 more Philips Hue play bars, and wrapping around the edge of the desk is another Philips Hue light strip. Now, I did cover this desk fully in my last desk setup video, and I'll link that down in the description below if you're interested in seeing more of it. In the opposite corner of the office is another floor lamp by Govee to give a bit of light to that side of the room. Though it's not always on, the key light that I use is the Aputure 300D Mark II, diffused by the Aputure Light Dome 3. It's way more than enough light for this room, and I sometimes use it outside of filming for general lighting when I need it a bit brighter in here in the evenings, and of course, to use when all other lights go out. Finally, beyond the main setup and lighting, what really completes the office, in my opinion, are the personal touches and surrounding details you can add to the space. My old office was carpeted, which helped a lot with sound quality, but this new space has laminate flooring, which effectively makes it a huge echo chamber. I decided to add 2 rugs to the room, both from a company called Ruggable. I like the fact that they're easy to wash and they can be customized to suit the space they're meant for by changing their weave and cushioning styles on the website. Both rugs are of course Star Wars themed because once I found out that Ruggable sells Star Wars themed rugs, I couldn't have it any other way. I added a bunch of sound paneling to the side of the office where I tend to shoot A-roll, like this, and it's definitely helped quite a bit with the original sound in here. Now, I'm not a professional sound engineer by any means, so please be kind with my work. Ultimately, as stupid as it sounds, beyond the sound dampening, I also just kind of like how it makes the office look. On the same side of the office is a cabinet I use to store some miscellaneous tech items and is from a company called Hubro. It's finished in a nice rustic brown color, which fits into the moody and cozy vibes of this office. On top of the cabinet is my 1/6 scale Luke Skywalker hot toy collectible, of course wearing his snowspeeder gear from the Battle of Hoth in The Empire Strikes Back. The level of detail with Hot Toys collectible figures is honestly incredible. To complement Luke, I also have a 1/6 scale mini bust of Emperor Palpatine sitting on the desk, who also makes sure that I get my work done on time. Also on top of the cabinet is my air purifier from Blue Air, because keeping the air clean in the office is also important and sometimes is a thing that gets overlooked. Lastly, I have Goku and Vegeta to protect the space in the event that Luke goes off into battle again with more AT-ATs. On the main accent wall, I have the same 3 displayed posters featuring things that I like. Well, 2 of them are the same. The newest addition is a Red Dead Redemption art piece. On the small wall beside the setup, I still have my art pieces of Greece and the Philippines, which mean a lot to me since I'm Greek and Filipino, as well as a new art edition of the Mercedes CLA 45 AMG, a car that I wanted for a while and was fortunate to purchase for real back in March. It's been a lot of fun to drive. On the back wall are 3 space-themed art pieces from a company called Wolf & Rocket, whom I discovered on Etsy. I've had these pieces hanging in my office for a while now, and I love their designs. Wolf & Rocket makes some great movie-themed art, and I'll link their store down in the description below. Shout out to Suresh, the owner and artist behind all of the Wolf & Rocket pieces. Lastly, I have 2 art pieces on the wall that were sent to me by Grid Studio some time ago. Grid Studio is a company that deconstructs and frames old technology, turning them into beautifully presented pieces of art. I really love what they do with older, deprecated technology, keeping them alive as memories instead of throwing them out. I have both the original Game Boy and N64 controller frames, 2 pieces of technology that are near and dear to me and remind me of my childhood every time I look at them. As usual, I want to end this video with the same closing thoughts that I had in my last desk setup video. Desk setups are a personal thing. Everyone has their own opinions on what makes a great setup. Some people like bright setups, some people like moodier setups, some people are minimalistic, some aren't, and everyone gets their work done in different ways. At the end of the day, yes, having a setup that you feel happy and comfortable in can help you get your work done. But that's really what's at the core of any desk setup: getting work done. Productivity is about your mindset and not about the things you own. Obviously, if you work from home full time, investing in your home office setup can be a good idea, and having a setup that you're happy in can make you more productive. But it can also take a lot of time, effort, and money. I'm very lucky to have the things that I have, but I've worked very hard over the years to be able to have them. I also review a lot of the products that I purchase on this channel, so there's added rhyme and reason for me to invest in them in the first place. As long as you're happy with your setup, you've already won the game. Building a home office setup that you're proud of isn't a race, it's a journey. So never try and rush it. My general philosophy is, if you're thinking of investing in a new work from home setup, is to wait a bit longer and save up for the thing you wanted to buy in the first place. Usually, those things do last longer, and in the long run, you'll end up saving money. If you're just starting out your desk setup journey, good luck, and I hope you build the setup of your dreams. That's about all I have for this one, guys. If you're still here, please make sure to drop me a fire emoji down in the comments below, just so I can give you a like for sticking around until the end of the video. If you like this video, please remember to hit that like button, and please consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon so you know when I release new videos. Doing both of those things really helps me out in growing this channel. To those of you who consistently watch, stick around to the end, and leave comments, positive or sometimes negative, I truly appreciate your engagement, and I'm thankful for your continued support. Oh, and if you're interested in following more regular updates from me, you can find me over on Instagram and Twitter/X at 2byThomas. I've got more tech, desk setup, and gaming content planned as usual, so please stay tuned for that. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.